I actually do believe that OnlyFans and all these different things, with all these different options for men, it's making it harder for men to be in relationships. Like if they're married, they're probably not spending as much time with their wife. They're probably jacking off in a room and not paying attention to their wife, and it's ruining the marriage. So do you guys at all feel like guilty for being part of an industry that's probably not good for marriages, making it harder for even you guys to find men that are,
Blame it on the person in the marriage, not us. You know,
but you're contributing to it.
okay, but it's them. They're a faulty person.
You're
It's not to
profiting
you.
off of it though.
Okay, but it's still their actions in the first place. They'd find another girl. If I didn't have an OnlyFans, they'd find a different one if they wanted to do that. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I'm just saying you're profiting off of it. And I was just wondering if you feel at all like morally culpable.
No, I do not.
Okay.
What we have here is a big case of women logic, with both sides blaming on the guy somehow, with this trad girl blaming on the guys having no self-control, and the liberal feminist women blaming on the guy saying, well, he must have been a shit person. And we have all these women doing gymnastics around the real answer, and that is that these women just don't want to bang their husbands anymore. And instead of doing their wifely duties, they'd rather blame the OnlyFans girls that they're jerking off to. And that's what a lot of these trad women that come on these podcasts don't want you to know, that they're not actually banging their guy. And that's the real issue behind a lot of this. So they drum up this boogeyman, the OnlyFans girls, when in reality it's them that's the problem. And I really thought these OF girls were gonna say, well, he wouldn't be watching us if you were doing your job, but instead they turned it around and blamed it on the guy. That female-only group preference had to step in at the last second, and that tells me they all know the real answer, they just don't want to say it. And that is, if you were taking care of your dude, he wouldn't be on here fapping to us. So why would they ever feel guilty when you're the problem? And when you think about this just a little bit more, you know that this has been a problem forever. Everybody knew where their dad hid the magazines or videotapes. And the reason it's a big problem now is because now women can support themselves, so they don't have to tolerate that. With internet, it gave everybody unlimited access to whatever they wanted. And with the rise of the independent content creator, it gave all these people the ability to parasocial bond with these people and get personalized content. Where before, it was just old magazines and videotapes that made the whole thing a lot less personal. That I guess gave the whole thing a lot more of a acceptable thing that women took along in marriage. And now that these guys can talk with these girls, it's all of a sudden a problem, when it's been a problem all along, as it's been a joke for generations of men, that their wives are eventually just going to stop banging them. And now that these guys have found an outlet that these women don't like, they gotta get on the internet and blame these women instead of just banging their husbands. And that should speak a lot more about these women that come on the internet and blame everybody else but themselves about their sexless marriage. Because we all know women can't hold any accountability, so it has to be something else's fault and not their own. Why their husbands are watching OnlyFans girls. And that's how much they don't want to bang their husbands. They'd rather complain about it on the internet.